with the sound of that final click of the lock. Beads of sweat started sprinting down my back, and my mind went in a million directions at once. To calm myself, I leaned forward and put my hand up against the 8-inch thick door that had just been wedged closed in front of me. It is now hour 1, minute 1, second 1 of a 28-day countdown until that door is open again and I walk through it. I am just outside of San Marcos, Guatemala, alone for a month, alone in a room with the exact dimensions as this red circle. There's a little yoga mat here on the floor and a meditation cushion there for me to sit on. And 3 times a day, Tupperware containers of food get slid through a mail slot. And I push my butt back up against the floor and I eat them in silence. Right here, there's a ladder leading up to a claustrophobic sleeping area where my face is just inches away from the ceiling all night. There's a shower here, a little sink, and thankfully, I do have a toilet. Every morning, I rattle the seat of that toilet and I make as much noise as possible in hopes of scaring away what I am sure is a razor-clawed jungle insect that has secretly snuck in there overnight and is now poised, sitting on the toilet seat, waiting for me. Now, I have to make all this noise because there's something else about this room. There are no windows in here. Eerily, there's no air moving. And it's essentially soundproof. And for the month that I am in here, I will be in pitch black darkness. I will not see my hand an inch in front of my face. I'll have no human contact, no books, no music, no electronics, no cell phone, no distractions whatsoever. This will be my reality for the next 40,320 individual slow crawling minutes, where it's just me and my thoughts. Now, I walked into this room voluntarily, and I walked in here with good intention. See, I wanted to fall back in love with the light and find the laughter that had left my life. And I knew before I could do that, I had to come sit in my own darkness. You see, for my entire life, I've sought out the best teachers and the greatest coaches. And I knew in here, I would find the best of the best. The guru of pain. A decade earlier, an elbow ripped across the top of my head, slicing me open. Blood poured down my face. And as I looked through that mess, I saw a referee wave my opponent off, frantically calling a doctor. As a doctor came in, I tried to have a conversation with pain. But I couldn't because I was too caught up in conflict and confusion. See, during the day at that time, I hurt people. And I got hurt as I trained to be a professional fighter. That was by day. But at night, I was at the Venice Family Pain Clinic as part of an acupuncture school externship. And there, instead of hurting people, I was helping them with their pain, becoming a healer. Now, my goal with this very bipolar lifestyle was simple. But in hindsight, it was simply misguided. You see, I thought if I could learn everything there was to know about pain, how to inflict it, how to relieve it, if I could just intellectualize it enough, I could make myself immune to it. Like maybe me and pain would have this great long-distance relationship. But it doesn't work that way, does it? None of us are immune to it. On my drive here to Santa Barbara last week, I stopped just outside of Kingman, Arizona, at a small diner because I wanted a slice of apple pie. When I walked in the bathroom, I walked in on a man shooting heroin into his arm. I think he was about my age, about 40. But man, was he 40 going on 75. He was an American, just like me. And here in America, we make up 5% of the world's population. But we consume 80% of the world's opiates. That's 80% of the painkillers. That's not just a problem here, is it? Everywhere we look, People are addicted to alcohol, to drugs, to sex, to food, to work, to pornography, to our own thought patterns, to our own drama. And trust me, folks, full disclosure, I'm not innocent. I've done battle with half of that list myself. I know shame. I know rock bottom. I'm not just talking about all the times I woke up surrounded by empty bags of gluten-free cookies. Damn those things. But we're all running from the pain of our lives, aren't we? It's not elbows to the top of the head. The greatest wounds are the ones that spill no drops of blood. It's the heartache, it's the loss, it's the betrayal, it's the abandonment, it's the self-judgment. It's the days we wake up and look around and go, oh my God, how did my life get like this? That's the pain that's not going anywhere. That's the pain we have to take out and hold up. Shine in the light and talk to. This is the pain we have to make our guru. Now, at the start of this year, I packed up my belongings and en route to Guatemala, I stopped in New Mexico for a couple months to volunteer in hospice, to work with people who were dying. And every day I would say a silent prayer before pushing open the double doors of the nursing home and getting punched in the face by the smell of despair. And in hospice, I met a man named Ernest. He's my friend. And that 1-2 punch combination of emphysema and cirrhosis had taken a hell of a toll on Ernest. When I first met him, he was slumped over in a wheelchair, the fingers of his left hand a sticky nicotine brown, the rest of his body ash gray and white. And despite his gasping breath and his pulmonary diagnosis, one day I leaned down and I tried to light a cigarette for Ernest. And after watching it fall out of his mouth 3 times, I took one out of his pack, stuck it in my own mouth, and I lit it, and I handed it back to him. And Ernest looked right up at me. You, why are you really here? And his look was clear. If I have to let you help me in that bathroom, wipe drool from my chin, don't you dare lie to me. Ernest, despite how intellectual I am running. I lost everything a little while back, and I'm trying to outrun the pain of it all. You never outrun pain. This, my friend, is what it does to you if you try. Wow. Ernest was right, wasn't he? We never outrun pain. We can't out anything it. But what if? What if the next time pain came and knocked on our door? What if we stopped? We took a deep breath. Said, you know what? Come on in. Come on in. Please, have a seat. Let's get to know each other. Let's talk. Actually, you know what? Have a cookie. It didn't take pain long to come find me in here. And he came with a message. This is what he said. Lean in to me and experience me fully. You cannot numb one area of your life and not numb another. When you numb your pain, you kill your joy. When you numb your fear, you crush your courage. When you numb the present moment, you steal the innocence from a child's laughter. You shoo away the butterflies that want to come dance in your stomach before a magical first kiss. When you deny yourself me, you deny the love, the happiness, and the peace you all say you're running towards. The light will never be more intoxicating than after you have sat wholeheartedly in the darkness and fought to keep your heart open. I know darkness. I didn't have to come in here to find it. It actually found me. It wasn't long ago I was tucked in bed and fell asleep for the night, a happily expectant father. A midnight tap on the shoulder and a drive to the emergency room later, and that dream was gone. A couple months later, I sat down at breakfast, a happily married man. And by the end of the meal, my marriage was gone as well. I then walked away from a community I spent 6 years of my life building, and it's been 7 months and 22 days since I've seen my dog, Lucas. And when darkness came and wrapped its unwelcome arms around me, thank God I had a friend who called and shined some light into my life when he said, hey, this is going to be the worst year of your life. Or, this is going to be the best year of your life. Either way, it's going to be the hardest. But you have some decisions to make. In other words, we are never in control of our external circumstances, ever, nor if they're going to be painful. But we can take any experience, and use it to our advantage. Your spouse walks out on you. I'm sorry, trust me. But now you have the opportunity to learn how to cultivate true forgiveness. Fire takes your home. Yeah, my heart goes out to you. But now you have the gift of learning that joy has nothing to do with material objects. Terminal diagnosis. Okay, it's okay. I've been with dying people before. You will now appreciate every ridiculous second of the rest of your life. Now this shift lets us take pain and turn it into rocket fuel for our growth and spiritual development. At my lowest point in this room, not even halfway through, I was lying right there on the floor in the fetal position, and pain came and stood over me. I don't want to break you, but if you run from me, I will. Surrender to me, and I will break you wide open. Soften to me and let me mold you. Let me show you all of the places in your life where there is still more room for gratitude, compassion, and curiosity. Sit in the alchemizing fire of whatever you are going through and learn to stay present. And you, even here, you can ask yourself, what would I be more grateful for today if I knew it would be gone tomorrow? Now, only 4 hours into my very first night in this room, I woke up into a nightmare because I was sure that there was someone else in this room with me. I just couldn't see them. And so I pushed my back up against the wall. I got in a defensive position and I braced for whatever was coming. And I braced and I stayed on this wall until I started repeating the most important mantra in the school of pain. It's okay, I got you. 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 All of us that have experienced real loss know it's not the day you lose everything. That's not the worst day. That's not the day pain comes knocking. It's not the day she dies 2 years after you celebrated her cancer going into remission. That's not the most awful. It's not the day you come back from the vet and you see the little empty food and water bowl and you know you're never going to hear the pitter-patter of little feet again. That's not the day that crushes you. The day the world comes and lands squarely on your broken heart is the next morning, when you so naively have woken up and for a fraction of a second have forgotten. And then you remember. That's when pain comes and drives its knee up into the diaphragm of your soul, and you fight with every fiber of your being not to exhale. Because you know when you do, all of it's real. But that moment That moment is when you are about to get cracked wide open. That is the start of the best year of your life. But every day forth has to begin and end with those three little words, with I got you. Now, darkness and pain are bedfellows. But once you've surrendered and walked through both, a door will be opened, and you will be bathed in sweet, delicious sunlight and peace. And pain will never leave us unmarked or unscarred. But it'll leave us with a fresh set of eyes. Eyes opened by compassion, empathy, courage, and love for everyone around us who is experiencing the same pain we are. The pain of being human. Before I walked out of this room on that 28th day, I stopped because I had a message for pain. Thank you. Thank you for those lessons. Thank you for transforming me into someone I never would have been without you. Thank you, pain. You are my guru.